So in the last part of the lecture, we will talk about infinite intervals of integration. So what this means is that the upper bound and the lower bound may not necessarily be bound by some particular values, but it may go to infinity. So for example, here we have a function lambda e to the negative lambda x, where x is a positive number and lambda is also a positive constant. We want to find the area below the graph over the region 0 to infinity. So the upper bound does not exist and it's going to go to infinity. So just to show how this function looks like when you sketch it, so this is an exponential function, and because the lambda is positive, so it is a decreasing function. And it's exponentially decreasing. And so we want to find this area. And there is no upper bound. The lower bound is 0. And there is no upper bound. So this is the area that we are looking for. So the function is lambda e to the negative lambda x. So when you set up the integral, we call this a definite integral. It goes from 0 to positive infinity, lambda e to the negative lambda x dx. So in this case, let b equal to infinity. So then we treat it as a definite integral where the bound goes from 0 to b. And we integrate this expression, so it's lambda over negative lambda times e to the negative lambda x. And we evaluate this going from b to 0. So these two terms cancel out. And we are left with negative e to the negative lambda x. Going from 0 to b. So first we sub in b. So negative lambda b minus negative e to the negative lambda times 0. So that's negative e, negative lambda b plus 1. Now because b is infinity, we can evaluate how the function behaves when b goes to infinity. So since b was equal to infinity, we need to evaluate limit as b goes to infinity. So as b goes to infinity, we have negative e to the negative lambda b. And notice that if b goes to infinity, this term is going to get extremely large. And it will go extremely large on the negative side. Now, because e is raised to the negative exponent, so if you plug in a very, very large number, e to the negative of that exponent, this is gonna tend to 0. And don't forget that we had a plus 1 here. So the area is actually converging to 0 when b goes to infinity. Okay, so another example. Again, let's say we let b equal to infinity. And so then we will end up integrating a definite integral that goes from 1 to b, 1 over x to the a dx. Rewriting this, that's just x to the negative a dx. So this expression we can integrate x to the negative a plus 1 divided by negative a plus 1. And we evaluate going from 1 to b. So first we plug in b for x, so we have b to the exponent of negative a plus 1 divided by negative a plus 1 minus 1 to the exponent of negative a plus 1 divided by negative a plus 1. So this expression, I'm going to take the limit as b approaches to infinity. So limit as b approaches to infinity. So what's going to happen? So if b goes to infinity, then this very large number gets raised to some exponent of negative a plus 1, where this negative a plus 1 is going to have a negative value. How do I know this? Because a is greater than 1. Okay, so if a is greater than 1, then negative a plus 1 is going to be negative. So if I raise a large number to the exponent of negative, then it goes to 0. So this goes to 0. And so then the expression, leftover expression, is just 1 over a minus 1. So what happens if both limits of integration are infinite? Then the improper integral of a continuous function f on negative infinity to positive infinity can be defined as follows. So the idea is this. We are going to split the function into two parts. The first part is when negative infinity goes to 0, and the second part is when 0 goes to positive infinity. So once we have that, we just need to do two limits. Okay, so the first limit is when b goes to negative infinity, and the second limit is when b goes to positive infinity. Okay, so here's the functional form. So for c being positive, prove that the following integral converges, and we need to find the value of convergence. So first I'm going to rewrite this improper integral into two parts. So first I let negative infinity go to 0. Then I let 0 go to positive infinity. So in the previous example, we have already calculated this part. The function is identical. And what we got was 1 over 2c, right? Here. So exercise B. So when we evaluate this, we get 1 over 2c, and that's from as shown in the previous example. How about this part? This part, we do the same thing. So first we let b equal to negative infinity now, and we evaluate. The bounds, and it should give you negative a half c. So, but I'm gonna solve this fully. So first, let b equal to negative infinity. And I'm gonna use a substitution to integrate this expression. So let u equal to negative c x squared. So du is negative 2cx dx. So I'm going to plug in for negative 1 over 2c being du being x dx. So x dx, I will plug in negative 1 over 2c du e to the u. So I will factor out negative 1 over 2c. E to the u is just e to the u if we integrate that. But what is u? U is negative cx squared. And we want to evaluate this going from b to 0. So first we plug in the value 0. So negative 1 over 2c e to the negative c 0 squared minus negative 1 over 2c e to the negative c b squared. So this goes to 0. E to the 0 is just 1. So we have negative 1 over 2c plus 1 over 2c e to the negative c b squared. So now we do the limit. Limit as b approaches to negative infinity now. So even though b is negative infinity, but squaring it will give you a positive value. And e to the negative, a positive big exponent will just go to 0. So this goes to 0, and we get negative 1 over 2c. So the first part is positive 1 over 2c, and the second part is negative 1 over 2c, so it becomes 0. So we sub in, that's negative 1 over 2c plus 1 over 2c. So that's 0. So it converges.